Our agency was contacted this morning approximately 5:50 to 5, between 5:50 and 6 a.m. in reference to a possible drowning at the location where we're at behind me. Down this road is a house and a pond in front of the house. A mother, 3 kids. There's a 15-year-old female, an 11-year-old female, and a 5-year-old, 6-year-old male, 6-year-old male. All of them were transported to the hospital. 2 went via life flight, the mother and the 11-year-old. The 15-year-old and the 16-year-old were ground transported to the hospital. They all went downtown to Memorial Hermann Hospital. The mother and the 11-year-old at this point in time are listed in critical condition. The 15-year-old and the 6-year-old are stable and are recovering at the hospital. When they're going to be released from the hospital, we are uncertain of. The mother and the 11-year-old are the ones that are in critical condition. They are in critical care units in Memorial Hermann at this time. The information that we received was that the children and the mother were by the water, and this came in from the dad. The children and the mother were by the water and that it was possible that the mother was trying to do something to the kids. The first arriving deputies arrived on scene. All the kids were out of the water, from what I was told. The 11-year-old was being worked on by the first deputy that arrived on scene until EMS could arrive. She did regain consciousness somewhat, but she is one of the ones that is listed in critical condition. Upon deputies arriving to the scene, the mother was still in the water and had to be pulled from the water. The mother did not she was not conscious upon bringing her out of the water at that time. She did have a heartbeat, but she was not breathing on her own, and she was not talking or coherent at all. The father is the one that called 911 to report the incident. He stated he heard some commotion in the front yard, possibly yelling from the kids. The father comes outside, calls 911, and it's our belief that the father is the one that pulled some of the kids out of the water. This is an active investigation. We've had investigators down at Memorial Hermann. We've got investigators behind us. We have conducted a search of the house, the residence. There's numerous locations on the house around the house that we're looking at, looking for any kind of evidence that we can find that would lead us to why this tragic event happened today. So at this time, if you have a few questions, I can try to answer some. Understand that this is an ongoing investigation, and I may not be able to answer your questions as you ask them.
Captain, was it NyQuil and vodka?
So,
clarify the age and the condition of the
was it NyQuil and vodka?
Again,
Yes, ma'am.
I think it was not quite clear. And also, when you say they're stable, can you actually give us their conditions? The stable is just
okay. So, as far as the vodka and the NyQuil, I am unsure exactly where some of that came from. We are investigating that aspect to see if there was any type of alcohol or any type of NyQuil included in this event. In reference to yours, ma'am, the ages, we have a 15-year-old female, we have an 11-year-old female, we have a 6-year-old male. The 11-year-old female is in critical condition at Hermann Hospital. She is in critical care unit. The mother is in critical condition, and I do not have her age right now, I'm sorry. The 15-year-old is in stable condition. She is talking. She is very tired. She is she's been through a traumatic incident today involving her siblings and her parents, so she's resting well right now. I can say that. The 6-year-old is the hospital is doing what they can to help him rest and keep him down. He's a 6-year-old child that's ready to get up and move around.
Has CPS been called to this house before, or have y'all been called to this house before?
So the Liberty County Sheriff's Office has made a call here in the past. I believe one call within the last few years, and I believe it was some sort of an assault that occurred, and I'm unsure at this point in time if it had to do with the family members that are here.
Okay.
The CPS has been notified in reference to this case. However, we have no recollection or no knowledge of CPS ever being here prior to the call today.
So around what time did the father hear a commotion and was able to go? Like, what's the time frame? How long did it take him to get? This is a large property to get to the kids and pull them out.
So the from the time he heard the commotion in the front and the screaming, it would not have taken him that long. The pond is approximately 75 to 100 feet in front of the house, and it happened on the opposite end of the pond from the house, so that would have been about another 150 feet. He did drive a vehicle down to that location. So from the time that he heard the screams and heard what he heard, it did not, I can't give you an answer as to how long it actually took him to get there, but it wouldn't have taken him that long.
So would you say the most accurate description of what happened is that the mother appears to have tried to drown her 3 children and perhaps threw herself in the water? Is that the theory you're working on?
So I believe that is what came into 911, and that's what happened. So I believe that that's what the dad originally stated when he called 911.
Was that she tried to drown?
That she was doing that, yes, ma'am.
And what did the dad state there was drugs and or other, alcohol?
So the dad was taken from here to our station, to our sheriff's office, and he was interviewed by the Texas Rangers who are assisting in the investigation. And I have not had an opportunity to speak with them in reference to what all the dad has actually said at this time.
But in the initial call, because I'm trying to figure out if you know where the whole NyQuil and alcohol and those things came from. If you said that's not entirely accurate.
That I don't know if that came from patrol arriving on scene and seeing alcohol near the area, or if he stated it when he called 911. That's still up in air. I'm not sure of that at this time.
Sir, what else do we know about their identities or about this family in particular?
So we don't really know a whole lot about the family. We're learning that the kids have not been enrolled in school, and they've not been in school in a little bit. I have been talking with a social worker at Memorial Hermann downtown and CPS that's downtown. We're trying to get forensic interviews set up with the children, the 15-year-old and the 6-year-old now, with Bridgehaven, which is here in Dayton. And so that's really all we know. We're unsure of his actual, where he works. We were told he sells cars, but we have nothing that proves that.
Do we know their names?
I'm not going to release the names as of yet, due to the fact that there are some family members that we've been told that's not been contacted yet.
He has other children, right? Adult children?
That I do not know.
Okay. What do you think the motive is? It's like maybe financial pressures or anything like that to the family, or have you thought, you guys looked into some of the?
We're looking into several different aspects, several different angles. We're going to go based on the evidence that we find here, and go based on that. And when we can interview, hopefully the mother and the 11-year-old will be able to be interviewed within the next few days, and maybe we can find some answers as to a motive at that point in time. Right now, we can't. I can't speculate what that motive is.
Is there the mother have a history of mental issues, or?
I've not been told anything about the mother having any history of mental issues, nor the father, nor any of the kids.
How old is the mother?
That I'm sorry, I don't have that. I meant to grab it before I came down here, but I forgot.
Do we know if they're from this region? They've been living here for a long period of time.
So we did look into that, and the property was they've owned the property and built the house that they live in now in 2017. So they've been living here since 2017.
But they've been having financial issues with property.
Say it again, ma'am.
But they've been having financial issues with property? Are you aware?
That I have no idea.
Captain, you've been doing this a long time. You've covered certainly some crazy things from time to time in Liberty County.
Yes,
How
sir.
would you describe the scene here and what transpired?
I would describe it as bizarre and breathtaking, seeing everything that we've been faced with today and what the deputies and the investigators had to deal with upon arriving to the scene. The fact of comparing it to others, anytime kids are involved, it's always a heart-wrenching emotion that goes through all of us in law enforcement. And the best thing that we can do right now is pray for the kids and the parents, both of them.
Do you know if the 15-year-old had any, did he do anything to try to help at the time of this all happening?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Did they help in any way to try to prove, or was it
The
dad?
15-year-old, I believe it was the dad that was helping get anybody that was in the water out of the water. Upon the deputies arriving, the kids were wet, the dad was wet, and the mother was still in the water. And the deputies are the ones, I believe, that got in and got the mother out of the water.
So right now, would you say you're focused on the mom as the suspect or perpetrator?
So right now, we don't have a specific focus on the mom or the dad. We're looking at both and interviewing the dad. We're going to interview the kids through forensic interviews through Bridgehaven, and hopefully get some answers as to what the kids tell us, and we can piece the puzzles together. And if all the evidence points towards mom, then we'll move in that direction. If it points towards dad or both, then we'll move in what direction that it leads. We'll go based on what we're told through interviews and all the evidence that we collect here on the scene.
Is it fair to say it's the father? The dad's the one who told you he heard the commotion outside, right? That's his story, but you're still working to corroborate if that's actually the case.
That's the story we're getting, yes, ma'am.
But do you know if they had cameras outside?
We have looked, and there is a Ring doorbell camera, but we have not been able to determine whether it works or not. There's no other camera system on the property.
Is the father going to be detained in any way for
The-
further questioning? Or
The father rode cooperatively with one of the deputies to our office, and once he was finished being interviewed by the Rangers there, then he was given a ride to a family member's house, and so he's been pretty cooperative up to this point.
Can you talk to us about how the Rangers are involved in this investigation?
How they what?
How the Rangers get into the investigation? What is their role in this investigation?
So the Rangers, actually, we're very fortunate in Liberty County to have two rangers assigned to this area, and both of them actually have offices in our building. And when we get any type of a major type call, whether it's involving death or possible death, serious bodily injury, we always reach out to them, and they're always willing to help. And we utilize them due to the fact that they're attached with DPS, and they have multiple resources of things that we can get and use from them in investigations. So we utilize them when we can and when they're available.
Are you guys investigating this as an attempted murder?
I can't answer that at this point in time. All I can say is right now we have 3 children that one critical, 2 stable. We're praying for the one that's critical, hoping that everything works out good with her. And then whichever direction the investigation leads us with the evidence, then we'll put that out at a later date. It's too early to tell what kind of charges would come on anybody at this point in time.
And you don't
Okay.
know for certain whether or not alcohol or cold medicine played a role. I mean, that's anecdotal, or where do you?
At this point in time, no, we're not. I mean, I can't say that alcohol or any other thing. I've heard several different things, and there's been several people call me today saying that, hey, this news channel said this news channel said that. So we're only going to go with what we have. In order to find out if alcohol was involved at all, we'll have to get a grand jury subpoena for the medical records at the hospital to determine the blood alcohol content of each individual that was taken. So
If the kids who are stable, sounds like they're ready to be released, but are you guys going to allow for us to get released back to the father?
CPS is handling that issue along with social services that is out of at Herman Hospital. So I've been in touch with the investigator with CPS, and they're handling everything that has to do with the 15-year-old and the 6-year-old at this point in time.